خطرها إن عرضه الله تعالى من أعظم المخلوقات وحملها الإنسان فقال تعالى في محكم تنزيله إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا وكان العرب يا عباد الله يفتخرون بالأمانة ويعدونها مكرمة حتى إنهم كانوا يطلقون على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قبل بعثته لقب الأمين لما اشتهر عنه من الأمانة في القول والعمل والحال فهو عليه الصلاة والسلام خير الأمناء البشر بشهادة أعداء قريش. My respected brothers and sisters, you'll find something that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had even when he was really young. When someone is a liar, he has to learn from a very young age. When someone lies, he starts from a very young age. Now, I'm not trying to say that he's a liar constantly because he's a small child or she's a small child. We all lied when we were little kids. It's fine, you're a little child. You probably learn it from somewhere. But the reason why we never can doubt the nubuwwatun Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we never can doubt Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, even with an atom weight of doubt, is that he never lied. He never lied even from a young age. Even from a young age, he never lied. That's why he came from the Ashraf al-Laqab. He comes from the honorable tribe called Al-Hashim. Al-Hashim. And when he used to walk past, they used to call him As-Sadiq al-Amin, the most truthful, the most trustworthy. He was known from a very young age. From a very young age, he was very charming. He was beautiful. He used to help the needy. And he had a hate towards shirk. He had a hate towards worshipping of the idol. So his fitrah was already pure. His fitrah was already pure. Brothers and sisters, why I'm saying this is because sometimes you'll find people telling you, right. Now brothers at the back, please stay quiet. Hayyakumullahu jami'an. Please, at the back, please be quiet. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, if someone was to tell you, how do I know that your Rasulullah is upon the truth? How do I know that the deen that you're upon is the true religion? You can simply say that the very man that I believe in, the master, Rasulullah, Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Abdul Muttalib, ibn al-Qurashi, al-Hashimi, how can he not be Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Because he never lied. He never lied. Even the thieves used to leave their belongings to him. Even the thieves used to leave the belongings in his house. When he left Mecca to Medina, he had to start distributing everything that was left in his house. Subhanallah. They used to keep the belongings at his home. That's how much they trusted him. For this reason, I'm trying to tell you, brothers and sisters, is that anything that ruins one's character, anything that can ruin your trait, your beautiful character, or your mabadi', or your principles, is nothing but lying. Is nothing but not keeping promises. Not keeping promises. And this is something that many of us, unfortunately, fall into. Just to save our own back, we start lying. Lying has become a very normal trait in our lives. The fact that you start openly lie in front of your children, you lie in front of your spouses, you will lie in your workplaces, thinking, do you know I can get away with it? But the problem is, min kathratul kadhib, from lying in a large doses, you don't want to be marked to be a liar, billahi alayk. Because this very tongue can start speaking for you or against you, simple as. That's the thing that we have to face. That's the very thing that we have to face. Of course, when it comes to the aspect of lying, there's certain area that you can lie. For example, when two Muslims are in dispute, You can lie to make them come back together. Subhanallah. Ajib, beautiful. Because you don't want two Muslims to be arguing. Sometimes certain people don't even know how to get two brothers together because they don't have that skill. They don't know what to say to the other person. They stay silent. But simple things such as, do you know what, akhi? Do you know what, brother? This person actually says good things about you. I don't know what you're talking about. It can mend people's hearts. It can mend people's hearts. Brothers and sisters, Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran al-Kareem, وَأَوْفُوا بِالْعَهْدِ إِنَّ الْعَهْدَ كَانَ مَسْئُولًا. And fulfill every covenant. Verily the covenant will be questioned about. Allah Azza wa Jalla said in the Quran al-Kareem, وَأَوْفُوا بِعَهْدِ اللَّهِ إِذَا عَاهَدتُّمْ وَلَا تَنْقُضُوا الْأَيْمَانَ بَعْدَ تَوْكِيدِهَا وَقَدْ جَعَلْتُمُ اللَّهُ عَلَيْكُمْ كَفِيلًا إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَعْلَمُ مَا تَفْعَلُونَ. You fulfill the covenant of Allah when you have taken it, O believers. And do not break oath. Do not break oath after the confirmation while you have made Allah over you a witness. Indeed, Allah knows what you do. Again, it's talking about mithaq. It's talking about oaths that you have taken. One of the loftiest of things that you're ever going to carry, my brothers and sisters, is keeping promises. People, how you shine among other people is by keeping promises. Do you know what? I can keep all my secrets with this brother. I can keep it. I'm not going to even tell my spouses. I'm not going to even tell my siblings. I'm not going to even tell anyone. Whatever he tells you, my brothers and sisters, whatever he tells you automatically becomes an amana. When someone starts confiding with you, automatically becomes an amana, it becomes a trust. That, you know what, he has told me something that is really sensitive. I cannot share with another person. I have to keep it in my heart. I have to keep it as a trust. People don't realize this. They think, you know what? Hey, Ahmed said this about, such and such a person. Ahmed, Muhammad has said such and such a thing. They don't realize that this is going to go against you. Today Allah Azza wa Jalla has made you someone that is trustworthy because someone opened up to you. Next time, no one going to trust you anymore. Because the barakah going to be lifted. The barakah going to be lifted. My brothers and sisters, Allah Azza wa Jalla said in Quran al-Kareem, وَأَوْفُوا بِعَهْدِي أُوفِي بِعَهْدِكُمْ وَإِيَّايَ فَارْهَبُونَ. I have bestowed upon you and fulfill my covenant, and I will fulfill your covenant from me. And don't be afraid other than myself. In Surah Al-Baqarah, there's two types of covenant that you have. There's two types of ahd that you keep in your life. Number one covenant that you have is the covenant between you and Ar-Rahman, between you and Allah Azza wa Jal. Now 𝒂𝒃𝒂𝒉 rahimahullah, or Abu al-Aliya rahimahullah, he mentions about this tafsir, the two types of promises that you keep. Number one, promise between you and Allah Azza wa Jal. And in return, what will He give you? If you keep truthful to your words today, if you believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, if you surely have believed in Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Abdul Muttalib, if you believe in him, if you follow him, then Allah Azza wa Jal will give you Jannah. Simple as. Simple as. If you believe in him, if you have full tawakkul upon him, if you have good opinion towards him, if you follow his sharia, if you follow within your best of ability, then he will give you what he promised. Inna Allah la yukhlifu al-mi'ad. He doesn't break his promises the way we break our promise. No, your Rabb is different. Your Rabb is Ar-Rahman. Your Rabb wants to enter you to Jannah. Wallahu yad'uka ila daris salam. He called you towards daris salam. Wallahu yad'uka ila daris salam. He's calling you to enter his garden. Number one covenant that you have is what, my brothers, is between the mithaq that you have taken. You have taken in your ruh. The mithaq that you have taken, the oath that you have taken, beginning of time, when your ruh was all gathered. He gathered it with one hand, people of Jannah, with another hand, people of Nar. Then he said, do you believe in me? And he said, I will believe in you. That's what you have uttered way before time. The hadith in Sahih Muslim, Sahih al-Bukhari. And you'll find that when it came to the dunya, you forgot. But the Quran al-Karim reminds you. Quran al-Karim reminds you that the ahd that you have is between you and Allah Azza wa Jal. When you have believed in Ar-Rahman, you stay firm. You stay firm with the Quran Al-Kareem. That's what's required upon me and you. The second covenant is what, my brothers and sisters, is the normal contract that you have. The normal contract that me and you, that we all hold. And what is that contract, my brothers and sisters? Is none other than contract when it comes to renting and buying your purchases. You know, renting and, you know, all this kind of purchase that you make in contract form. You know, whether it may be through the bank, a'udhu billah, whether it may be with marriage contract. You know, there's a whole lot of law when it comes to contracts. أقول قولي هذا نستغفر الله لي ولكم وسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب إنه هو البر الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اسمعوا يا عباد الله. Listen to me, my brothers and sisters. The biggest contract you're ever going to make in your lifetime is a marriage contract. The ulama, they have come to an agreement. The biggest contract you're ever going to make in your lifetime is a marriage contract. Something that many of us take it very lightly. My brothers and sisters, marriage is very easy in Islam. Marriage is really easy in Islam. All you need is 2 witnesses. All you need is mahar. And all you need is ijab al-qabul. That's it. But this contract means a lot in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. When you have taken that lady from her father's home, you have got her to your matrimonial home, it means a lot to that lady who's under your refuge. It means a lot to that lady, to this arisa, to this bride you have taken out from her father's home, from her mother's home. You bring her to your own home. This contract is something that many of us unfortunately don't realize. When you mean contract, it means between you and Allah Azza wa Jalla with the 2 witnesses, because a marriage cannot be done secretly. A marriage cannot be done secretly, meaning you can't just take a bride and then to bring her home. This is something that Allah Azza wa Jalla has forbade. Having a friendship in Islam is also forbidden. Unless it's got to do with your colleagues, you talk about work-related matters, this is something else. But having a personal relationship between the opposite gender and talking freely is something that is haram. You want to take her on board, then do a contract. Do a contract and make it easy for your children and make it easy for yourself. Make it easy for your wife, the contract that you have signed between you and Allah Azza wa Jal. This is something that many of us take it lightly. When we bring her home, what is the right that you have upon her? That you take care of her, you clothe her, you don't mistreat her. You say good words, beautiful words. When she says something back to you, stay patient. And what is the right that you have that she needs to give upon you? Is that she takes care of you. She honors you. She respects you. She doesn't disobey you. She doesn't start carrying your words and start going against you and doesn't dishonor you. These are the basic things that you hold in that contract. In that contract that you have signed is something that is really special, because it's a mithaqan ghaliza. Mithaqan ghaliza, my brothers and sisters, is a very strong handhold. It's really strong with a lot of emotion added in that contract. This relationship is none other, but yet, how come we see today every imam in every masajid are dealing with this, with the rise of divorce, with the rise of khula, with the rise of breaking of marriage, is because either of them are not fulfilling the rights. Either of them are not fulfilling the rights of their spouses. Now, the biggest thing that they don't fulfill is when it comes to respect. When it comes to little things like respect. The spouse will not going to respect the husband, or the husband will not going to respect the bride, his wife. They will start going against one another. Another thing that the wife will stop respecting the husband is that he breaks promises. Yes, he lies. Subhanallah. He lies openly. Another thing that he does, he shouts and screams in front of her. He doesn't have the art of being a good married husband. They want to get married. They fall in love. They want to get married. After marriage, my brothers and sisters, it's another ball game. It's another type of lifestyle that you live. These are something got to do with the new couples who are newly wedded. They go to matrimonial home. They live together. After a couple of months, he stays out for a very long time. He doesn't care about her anymore. The very few weeks that they were together, he starts not giving much attention to her anymore. Why? Because he's upset. Because he's upset and they never talked about it. They covered under the carpet. They don't want to talk about it. The communication is nothing but there's no communication at all. They don't want to talk about it. All they want to do is shove it under the carpet. They want to bury it. Years go by, my brothers and sisters, months will go by. After 5-7 years, they can't see each other in their own eyes. Yes. That's what happens in couples every single day. As we speak, there are couples, they are arguing. They hate one another. For this reason, we go back to the contract. We renew our intention why we got married. Brothers and sisters, an-nikahu min sunnati. Nikah is a sunnah. Nikah is an ibadah. You live your life for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Now think about it. Change that angle. That you got married because it's an ibadah. Everything changes, billahi alayk. You got married because it's an ibadah. You have your private, intimate life with the wife because it's an ibadah. You got married because Allah Azza wa Jalla wants you to get married. Because in this climate day and age, everyone needs to get married. Everyone needs to get married. But how come as years are going by, as months are going by, the love is deteriorating? Why, my brothers and sisters? Because number one, many of us, we don't fear Allah Azza wa Jalla. That's number one. Back 20 years ago, they used to talk about the ulama, they used to talk about, the first thing, the biggest ingredient in maintaining marriage is taqwa. I never understood that even back then. I never understand it. What do you mean taqwa? Right, taqwa, okay. Why taqwa, my brothers and sisters? Because when you bring that lady to your home, you treat her like a guest. You treat her like a human being and not like a slave. You treat her honorably. Despite we may see our fathers not treating our mothers honorably, you will treat her honorably. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla, He said so. When you bring Allah in the front, any contract law becomes easy. Do you understand? It's a mindset. It's a mindset that we live with. وَعَاشِرُوهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, and live with them beautifully. وَقُولُوا لَهُمْ قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا, say to them the beautiful of words. Even though she may say things back to you. Be patient. These days, because everything is so fast, Uber Eats, delivery, online, talaq also becomes online. Everything's easy. Fast food, on the go. Back in the day, back in our grandfather's time, they got married not only once, they got married 2, 3, 4 times. But they never asked for no divorce. The lady was patient. The lady was patient. Many of our grandfathers, that's what they did. Simple as. When the brother passed away, they had to get married to their younger brother's daughter just to keep kinship. That's what they did. It's a beautiful act that they done. It's a beautiful act that they done. Another thing that happens, the brother after 5-7 years of getting married, he wants to get married again. This is life story, by the way. He wants to get married again. But his wife is not agreeing. I said, what do you deserve for her to be agreeing to you anyway? Have you treated her honorably? Were you nice to her for you to qualify for that second lady for you to take care of? How do you know you're going to also abuse that second lady just the way you are with the first one? How do you know? Because marriage is beautiful. Marriage is beautiful. Even though the culture that we live in, that you don't get married for the second time. It's just a beautiful act to get married for the second time or the third time, because the man has the ability to do so. Okay? However, what I'm saying is that when you mistreat her, remember something. The children that lives in your own home, the children that lives in your own home, they also get affected. And you are not being a good example to your wife. You are not being a good example to your husband. Many sisters are also to be blamed. Many sisters also to be blamed. When the husband is hesitating to give talaq, the sister shouts, khula. She shouts, I want khula, I want this. I want to file for my divorce. You haven't even given him time. You haven't worked things out together. Why are you shouting khula for? Why are you doing this, my sisters? You teach them the ahkam of zawaj. You teach them the ahkam and realize that, listen, I can move on. I can move on. But will you be able to move on? That's the question. Will you be able to move on from separation? Because what happened is, my brothers and sisters, every lady, they need a husband. They need someone, they need a leader. They need a role model. They need a husband. And this thing of shouting out of talaq is not a very good thing. It's the most hated of halal thing that is available for you. Of mubah act is hated. The arsh of ar-Rahmani shakes. The arsh of ar-Rahmani shakes. Yes, you are qualified for a divorce, and she's also qualified for a khula. But khalli balak, be really careful. Be really careful. For those who are going through divorce, advise them, talk to them. Find a common grounding. If you see that the parents are being a bit difficult, you try to intervene and try to speak to them. That's the least that you can do. At the very end, every contract that you have today, every contract that you have made today, you will be accountable. What did Prophet ﷺ say in the hadith? He said, be kind to a woman, for the woman was created from a rib, and the crooked part of a rib, it is at the top, a'laha. So if you go to straighten it, you will break it. And if you leave it, it will remain crooked. So be kind to women. He also said, the best of you is the best towards his family, and I am the best to his family. خَيْرُكُمْ خَيْرُكُمْ بِنِسَائِكُمْ. Okay? So when you come to a contract, for those brothers who've been married for 15 years, 20 years, billahi alayk, you may have a beautiful relationship, but your relationship always needs effort to be beautiful. You have to always make an effort. Because I'll tell you something, my brothers and sisters, women don't want your money. Most of the time, our women, they don't want your money. Because many of them being raised in a first world country like yourself, they probably have their own earning. But what they want, my brothers and sisters, they want care. That's what they want, really. If you can take care of her, you'll get the best side of yourself. Rasulullah SAW, why was he successful with all of his wives? Why was he? Now, he didn't have 4 wives, 5. He had at least 9 minimum wives, okay? He had so much strength. He used to go to one house to another house, having matrimonial, having that, having his sessions and hissa with his wives, one after another. He was strong, built. He was strong mentally. He was strong physically. That's the kind of man he was. After giving so much time with his wives, he used to give so much time to his companions. Subhanallah. And then we complain about time. You complain about time. Problem is with us. Problem is with us. How we are treating our time. How we treat our family. How we are treating our wives. How we treat ourselves ultimately. Because how you treat your wife is going to show what kind of person you are. If you're a coward, if you're a man of principle. صلوا على بشير النذير يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم إنا نسألك بأن لك الحمد لا إله إلا أنت المنان بديع السماوات والأرض ذا الجلال والإكرام اللهم باعد بيننا وبين الخطايانا كما